Aloha and welcome to Moonscopes Love Your Life Astrology. I'm your host, KG Styles. What does the astro energy have in store for you in the month of February through the first week of March, from the Aquarius new moon on February 8th until March 8th, which is the day of our very first solar eclipse new moon of 2016, and it is in Pisces. Find out on today's show. I posted a world clock time zone converter for you below this video, along with a link where you can find a free astrology chart you can run for yourself. So today's report gives a complete overview of the entire Aquarius new moon cycle, starting on February 8th, which is the Chinese New Year of the red fire monkey, through the Virgo full moon on February 22nd, up to the eve of our first solar eclipse, which is in Pisces on March 8th. With the Aquarius new moon, you'll glimpse into what's in store for you in the first eclipse season that will play out for you until the next eclipse season this fall. You may also have insights about what is to unfold and the gateway you must pass through to realize the highest potentials available for you. 2016 is a rigorous year from my perspective, when you need to step up your awareness and play full out. If you notice you're exerting too much effort or struggle, then that's a sign you're relying on your ego to accomplish things in your life. The more you can let go of believing in and identifying with your ego, your separate identity, the more life will flow for you in 2016. Again, with this report, I'm giving you a dynamic, sweeping overview of the energies constellating throughout this year, rather than focusing on the details. There is so much going on that it will be easy to get distracted and pulled out of the primary meaning and purpose of what's unfolding for you and for what can happen in our world. So I'm going to stay focused on the major themes and what's from my perspective most important for you. On February 8th, we have the 19 degrees 16-minute Aquarius new moon at 6:39 a.m. Pacific. The moon immediately goes void of course, which means the moon is not making any aspects with any other planets. So the void of course moon is perfect for getting clear about what you want, what area of your life you want to set your intentions. But since it is void of course, it means it's without direction. There's nothing to ground the energy. So the moon, since it's very reflective and acts very much like a mirror, reflecting the energies that it's in contact with, when it's void of course, it's best to wait until it's again contacting one of the other planet, one or more of the planetary bodies, to set your new moon intentions. So during the void of course moon is a great time for preparing the soil for the seeds you want to sow. I think now is a perfect time for creating a new vision board for yourself. If that's something you do, it's a great time just now to just prepare the way, do any more clearing you need to do, any purification. Then as the new moon moves into Pisces at 31 minutes past midnight Pacific on February 9th, you can perform your new moon ritual and activate your seeds of intention in some way. The moon will be, let me check. The moon will be, won't go void of course, it'll be in Pisces until 8:25 p.m. on the February 10th. That's Pacific time. So that's one window. You can set your intentions anytime before when the moon is waxing until it reaches that first quarter moon, which I will give you. You just want to make sure it's not void of course during that time, as I've told you. So setting your new moon, Aquarius new moon intentions in the sign of Pisces actually is quite good, as it will prepare the way for the forthcoming Pisces solar eclipse experience on March 8th. On this day, March 9th, the day after the Pisces solar eclipse, Venus and Mercury are still within orb of conjunction to Pluto and Capricorn. Wait a minute, the Aquarius on February 8th, sorry about that. On February 8th, Venus and Mercury will still be within orb of conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn. Today, Venus will exactly perfect her trine to Jupiter, which is conjunct the North Node, and connecting, which is connecting you and expanding your life purpose. And the direction you're headed in is becoming clear to you now. Also, Mars in Scorpio forms a kite pattern with Venus, Mercury, and Pluto in Capricorn. And Jupiter conjunct the North Node and Virgo. All of this, what this is saying is that you're being given the courage, the strength, the motivation, the desire to take action, to rise above any former restrictions that may have surfaced for you during the Saturn's transit through Scorpio, where Mars is now, and that you've been working to resolve once and for all for yourself. So this Aquarius new moon conjunct the sun is sextile to Uranus and Aries, and this gives tremendous boost to the birthing of the consciousness of the new human, this new way of seeing yourself, a new vision for yourself is now possible. The status quo represented by Uranus square to Pluto, all those old fears have been being broken down and released. There's a new kind of mental and emotional resilience that's surfacing for you. There's self-empowerment and a willingness to break free now, move forward to a new frontier that's possible. This is all possibilities. So possibility thinking is very much supported at this time. As these new things, you can birth something new for yourself. So the Aquarius new moon is also square to Mars in Scorpio, which is quincunx to Uranus. So there can be strong feelings that you'll need to overcome of inner conflict. The square is usually inner conflict. The squares always make you strong. You have to put mental effort, physical effort. You've got to somehow put effort into breaking through, and it can feel uncomfortable. The quincunx energy often feels uncomfortable. It's not something that is usual for you. That's why it feels uncomfortable. So courage, resilience, commitment to discipline, to achieve your desires, all that can be achieved now. So February 8th is the Chinese New Year of the Fire Monkey, the 9th zodiac sign in the Chinese horoscope, which mirrors the universal 9-year we're in. 9 is the number of mystery and magic, and it multiplies and mirrors whatever number it is connected with. If you have a strong 1 energy acting through your life, for instance, the fire monkey will multiply it like an overtone of the energy. So it multiplies the energy. So 1 plus 9, for instance, is 10. 10 is a number of manifestation, but that 1 plus 0 and 10 equals 1. So again, you have 9 becomes the number that it's added to. So if you not add it to the number 2, you get 11. That's a master number. But if you add the 1 and the 1, you get a 2. So it's always becoming the number that you're adding the 9 to. Then if you do a multiplication of 9, say 9 times 9, you get 81, which equals 9. So anything you multiply 9 by is going to equal 9. So 9, like I say, it's an overtone. It multiplies and adds exponentially to the number it's added to. So the monkey is very gregarious, creative, clever, and shines in social situations as a leader. It's an excellent year for entrepreneurs who work in association with like-minded others. You'll be able to accomplish a great deal more than you will alone if you join together with like-minded others who are playing by the same rules as you are. So monkey can also be too clever for his own good and can be his own downfall, needs to exercise patience, not to leap before he looks. Watch out for monkey mind, as you can easily become distracted and overwhelmed in 2016. 9 is the number of mastery, the number before 10, which is the number of instant manifestation. 2016 is a year of self-mastery, as I've told you before in my previous reports about 2016. So passing your tests to advance to the next level of mastery is available this year. And otherwise you can, have to start all over again, because we have a 1 year. So you're going to wherever you end up, whatever you pass, whatever tests, whatever achievements you have this year, you'll be able to go on to new levels of that in the coming 9 years, 10 years. Otherwise, you'll have to start all over again. You could actually experience some kind of loss during the year 2016 if you don't use sufficient foresight and self-discipline, so that you're making, you're using all of you. It's a holistic endeavor, and you're using a holistic perspective when you're making decisions to move forward. It's not coming from, it's an imbalanced perspective. So on February 14th, we have the first quarter waxing moon at 26 degrees, 3 minutes Taurus on Valentine's Day. The Taurus moon forms a T-square as it opposes Mars in Scorpio and squares the Aquarius sun. Usually the quarter moon, whether waxing or waning, represents something you need to let go of or release to realize what you set as your intention at the Aquarius new moon. The way through to resolve the T-square dilemma is the empty house where Leo is located. Think back to the recent full moon, in Leo. What needs further release or self-expression? The Leo full moon was about self-expression. So is there anything else that's holding you back from fully expressing and realizing shining your light? So on February 17th, we finally leave Mercury retrograde shadow, enter the start of the Mars retrograde shadow. Notice what's happening now, as these are repeating themes for what must be overcome and mastered to move forward. Are your actions aligned with your desires and bringing the results you want? Or are your actions needing refinement to support the outcomes you desire? On February 22nd, we have the 3 degree, 34 minute Virgo full moon at 10:20 a.m. Pacific. The moon is in Virgo until February 24th, when it goes void of course at 6:22 a.m. Pacific. The Virgo full moon is opposite the sun, conjunct Neptune in Pisces. The Virgo full moon will also square Saturn in Sagittarius, trine Pluto in Capricorn, oppose Chiron in Pisces, conjunct Jupiter in the North Node, and sextile Mars in Scorpio before it goes void of course. Something is being illuminated that you need to balance and heal in the house where Virgo and Pisces are located in your chart. And so these are opportunities, all of these things. There's opportunity for healing available, a great deal of healing. And there's also opportunity for moving forward. Because Mars is located, is involved, Saturn's involved. There is a real possibility of fulfillment in your life direction right now. But you're really going to have to allow yourself to engage with these energies and allow themselves to work themselves out through you. So during the Virgo full moon, Mercury in Aquarius is sextile to Saturn at 16 degrees Sagittarius. This really brings form to new visions. Keep your mind focused on what you want to create. Right. Also at this time, Saturn is with an orb of conjunction to Uranus and Aries. Is in trine to Uranus and Aries. We're now entering, it will perfect itself this fall, later this year. But there is a lot that's wanting to break through for resolution. Things that have seemed impossibly stuck. There could be some original innovative solution that gets grounded now, that stabilizes you. That's the Saturn. So Venus is about to be in the same dance with Saturn and Uranus that occurs with Mercury at the Virgo full moon. So pay a special attention at the Virgo full moon, exactly what's happening with your in your mental sphere, because this is going to be happening for you emotionally. Whatever breakthroughs you make, whatever illuminations you have about what needs balancing, the opportunities that arise for you. This is a very nice opportunity for things to come forward for you. There's a lot of synchronicity available during the month of February. So there can be great changes regarding your money situation, improved material circumstances for you in the near future, and you should be having clearer indications about them now. Then on March 1st, we have the waning quarter moon at 11 degrees 48 minutes Sagittarius. This is a very important quarter moon leading to the solar eclipse new moon in Pisces on March 8th. The quarter moon conjuncts Saturn and forms a T-square with Neptune conjunct the Sun in Pisces and Jupiter conjunct the North Node in Virgo. This T-square represents tremendous psychic tension. A T-square is always a lot of psychic tension. And there's something's about to change or needs to change. And the resolution usually comes through the empty house, which is going to be on the opposing Sagittarius, which is at 11 degrees Gemini. So, and this has to do with, Gemini has to do with, communications, connecting. It's in the mental sphere. It can come about through, something in your, since it rules the third house, could be something you do with your hands, could be something in your local community, could be somebody, have to do with a sibling or a friend, someone in your locally, in the social community, somebody you're related to in your local community, that it could come, these are some ways that it could come through. As always, these oppositions represent illumination, something that needs to get balanced there so that integration and healing can happen. This number 11 is a master number, and the Sagittarius 11 degree is within a 2-degree conjunction to the fixed star Antares, part of the Scorpion, which is a royal star overlighted by Uriel, watcher of the West. This area of the heavens brings new adventures, new horizons, opening up, a new vision, new vistas beckon you. Look in your personal chart and see if there are any personal planets or points here at this 11 degree Sagittarius point, 11 degree Sagittarius. The resolution, as I said, to this T-square is in the opposite sign of Sagittarius, the opposite side of Sagittarius, which is going to be in Gemini, the 11 degree Gemini. And this is where the royal star Aldebaran, overlighted by the Archangel Michael, is located, watcher of the East. The East is about, relates to integrity and courage, new beginnings, inspiration. Look in your own chart where this Gemini point is located in your chart. As I said before, the way this can come through is through your own, someone in your social, local community, any companions, could be through something you make with your hands, because the third house also rules hands. Also the oppositions, these often the opposition more than any other aspect actually represents a particular event or a person showing up that helps you become aware of what needs to be balanced within yourself. So starting from this quarter waning moon in Sagittarius leading up to the solar eclipse Pisces new moon, we have some major shifts taking place. You want to be especially mindful how you take action now. This moon leading up to the new moon, the waning moon after the quarter moon in Sagittarius, is a time when you need to be mindful about releasing energy and letting go. The energy is waning. It's not a time generally to take action. It's important to remember this, as there's a lot of intensity with the Saturn trine Uranus, a lot's wanting to come in to manifestation. And so you need to make sure that you're channeling it in. The Saturn requires a great deal of maturity and discipline and order and creating the proper structures for grounding the energy. So, that's one of the reasons why this whole year you need a lot of mastery with these energy. The Uranus energy is a pretty wild out there energy, and Saturn has a lot of rigor, a lot of requirements, a lot of rules, regulations generally that you need to make sure you've crossed all your T's and dotted all your I's. And, you want to have a kind of a wait and see attitude. you know, through all this intensity, that this buildup of intensity of things wanting to come through now, and allow yourself to go through the internal shifts and connections. Just allow things to spontaneously arise and let the connections happen naturally of themselves, not to force anything. I think that's the main thing to keep in mind, to know that love is acting at this time to adjust your life, and it's time to allow your own inner voice to surface and give you clear guidance before taking action. That's one of the main things I would counsel during this entire period that we're in right now, as these new visions are being birthed. Then on March 4th, Mars at the critical degree and the final master degree of 29 degrees Scorpio, square to Mercury at 29 degrees Aquarius. This represents raw passion and libido, instinctive drive. It's in clash with this future vision that you just birthed for yourself, this intention that you have committed yourself to embody at the Aquarius new moon on February 8th. At the same time, the sun, representing your will to be or life force energy, conjuncts Neptune, which is very much about feeling and connecting with your idealized self, the dreamer with no sense of boundaries. And it's squaring off with Saturn, the planet of reality that creates the necessary structures to make your dreams come true. So you can see this is very intense energy. It's like, you know, getting things to just, the only way things are going to naturally fit is to allow them to naturally occur and not to force anything, as I see it. So this contact could move you closer to realizing the ideal reality for yourself. That's the possibility at this time. And the changes you need to make. There could be a lot of adjustments, a lot of adjustments. A lot of it's an internal shift. We are on a waning moon, so it's an internal shift. We also have that Jupiter retrograde, you know, paying attention to all those internal details and changes that you need to make that have been being exposed within yourself, so that healing, and you can make, you know, there's an illumination happening from Jupiter's opposition to Pisces and Chiron and square to Saturn. All that's opening up this year. So all these energies are leading up to the solar eclipse, the new moon in Pisces, that's being set up for you. As I see it, it's the setup. It's one setup, you know, it gets set up from the fall eclipse to the spring eclipse. You're working that, you know, for a 6-month cycle, you're working off of that eclipse. And then in the spring, you have a new impetus come in for integration. So you take all that you've accomplished, all the changes that you've made since the last eclipse season, you know, you just kind of up to the next level. You take on the next part of the process for integration. So look to where Pisces is located in your chart. This is where a fresh new start is about to happen. I think there's really an integration here that's happening between that Aquarius new moon and the Pisces new moon. There's a shift that's occurring now as your consciousness of oneness is rapidly, you know, I think everyone's consciousness is being rapidly evolved just in a spontaneous, automatic way. It's just naturally occurring. Aquarius is a sign of the angels, the angelic self, the perfected human who realizes unity consciousness. It's your higher self, your angelic self. They're different names. Your mother matrix, different people have different names for it. But it's, you know, it's you allowing your life to happen automatically and spontaneously through you. It's that identification with yourself as your higher self, which is a spiritual being, which is, you know, beyond structure, beyond the personality, beyond your limited identity as a physical, you know, incarnation in this one existence. So it's, you know, integrating that awareness more of yourself as a spiritual being, having that come on more. The potential of the Aquarius new moon combined with this Pisces new moon solar eclipse is to help you take a giant step forward in embodying your awakened, realized self, your natural, authentic self, the source of your being, the source of all that is. The Aquarius new moon is an opportunity for you to birth a new vision for yourself that is aligned with and embodies the truth of your mighty I Am presence. Hanging out with the angels, especially God's cherubim, can be helpful for elevating your frequency and consciousness. The purpose of the cherubim, as I understand it, is to release you from any false appearance of discord. So in astrology, we often talk about squares and oppositions, creating apparent tension and strife. And at the spiritual level, there is only harmony. When you awaken to your angelic higher self, you can see the play of energies from a higher, let's say a higher perspective, for what things are about, and how things can get stuck, and you kind of are able to rise above the appearance of a disagreement. And so you can see the seeds for resolution and understand that the seed for resolution is always available in the apparent conflict. So it's just a way to help, to evolve. It's helps you rise above your former circumstance when you negotiate that change for resolution of an apparent paradox that seems unsolvable. So through the fabric of time, this is how all things resolve themselves. It's kind of like a mathematical equation that's ever expanding and growing, and solving itself eternally. So let me share with you a description of the cherubim for those who are interested. To explain, this may explain why they are so uniquely qualified to bring harmony out of discord. The cherubim have 4 wings and 4 faces. The 4 faces are a man, representing Aquarius, an ox, representing Taurus, a lion, representing Leo, and an eagle, which is Scorpio. All of these are fixed signs, and they are the most resistant to change and square each other in the zodiac wheel. So these symbolically, on a symbolic level, the cherubim represent your capacity, or the capacity available to us, to see things from the perspective of each of the 4 directions, so that you can experience the fullness of life of all living things. And the cherubim are the holy guardians of the perfect ideals and forms. There you have, ideals, Neptune, forms, Saturn. And then rituals, the new moon is very associated with rituals. And places, those are all the zodiac, all the houses of the zodiac. Those are the places, the different realms, 12 realms where things can show up. So, and the cherubim, their commitment is to protect you from all discord, so that you can realize your divine potential. So that's why I say calling on the cherubim right now to help you with this task of integrating the opposites, of balancing out these squares operating. I have a lot of squares. My chart is pretty complex. I actually, right now, since 2012, I've had 4 grand trines operating, and they're going to be operating for at least another 2+ years. So it's just the way my chart is. I have a sign or an asteroid, a planet or an asteroid in every house except for 1 house, and Uranus is there right now. So I have right now, my whole chart is lit up. So anyway, I do recommend, I actually just designed a whole new vision board for myself, and am getting ready to do a activation of it at the new moon and then the Pisces solar eclipse. It's something, when you do a vision board, you activate it, and then you have times when you can do, deeper, activations, these really potent activations, like at an eclipse time, when it's especially, for certain areas of your chart are lit up. So it's really good to activate it for that particular house. At least that's how I work with it metaphysically. So designing a vision board with your angelic or higher self, or lighting and guiding its creation, can help you birth a new vision for yourself and your life, connect you to realizing and embodying your highest potentials in 2016. So during this gateway to the solar eclipse new moon in Pisces, there is tremendous purification and healing available. Mars transit through Scorpio is helping to purify your desire body and take action helping you to take action necessary, which may include deep psychological and emotional clearing away in the house where Scorpio is located in your chart. And I spoke about this before. Mars gives you the energy, drive, fortitude, stamina, and courage to take action. Mars is intent upon strengthening you in the area of your life where it's located, and it helps you to clear out any fears that may still linger after Saturn's transit through Scorpio. Mars renews your passion and physical energy. It's the warrior energy of Mars, and it helps you to be determined and do whatever it takes to be victorious. For more about this window of time, you can check out my 2013 Astro Energy Forecast. That's it for this February-March Astro Energy Forecast through to the Pisces new moon solar eclipse on March 8th. I hope that what I've shared is helpful to you, and let me know by leaving me your comments and giving me a thumbs up, sharing with others. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate your being here. While you're here, remember to subscribe so you never miss a show. To download a podcast of today's show, head over to iTunes. I posted a direct link on iTunes for iTunes below the video, as well as links to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want even more resources for living a life that you love, plus personal invitation and news, I only send out by email, including news about my upcoming Essential Oils book scheduled for release on December 16th. Head over to kgstyles.com and sign up for email updates, or click the on-screen link and sign up for Soul of Aromatherapy and get my free 6-week online aromatherapy course. Many new and exciting developments are on the horizon. I'm in the process of assembling a support team of people. If you are an A-team player and would love to be a part of our future community and part of our culture, please click the on-screen link to send me an email with the word application in the subject line, and we'll send you a list of positions currently available. Keep reaching for your dreams. I'll be back soon with the spring eclipse season forecast. Till next time, relax, enjoy your life, and stay connected.